Good evening, you're listening to Modern Mystic Radio on A1R Psychic Radio, the world's #1 psychic radio network. My name is Sarah, I'm your host, and I'll be with you for the next 30 minutes. And then you're going to be joined by another whole host of wonderful spiritual people. Also there on Moonstruck TV if you're watching us, so I hope you enjoy the show. I'm going to be taking 2 callers today, so hopefully looking at 2 very different types of readings. So I work as a psychic here in the UK, have a very busy private practice, also work on UK TV as well, and attend events up and down the country. Work in a variety of different ways, so I like to look at past, present and future, and I do that using a variety of different cards. I have them with me at the moment. I've got these are the Psi cards. I'm just going to show you quickly here. Also have my tarot and other decks of cards sort of scattered around me in my lovely home office here. So today what I want to talk to you about is a different type of reading that I love to do. Absolutely, I'm very, very passionate about this. And this is reading the Akashic Records. Okay, so the Akashic Records are, it exists on the etheric plane. And basically it's a library of information about each and every single solitary soul that's ever been incarnated. And you will, of course, as a soul, have your own Akashic record within this wonderful hall of knowledge. The way in which I access the Akashic records is through a very, very unique crystal that I managed to acquire, and I'm going to show it to you in a minute, but it's called the Cathedral Lightbury Crystal. So that's a library of light, and what I do with this crystal, if you can see it, is I go in through a little doorway and then I enter the Akashic realm, and within that I will then go and select your record and have a look and see what there is, what can be gained from that. So what we can look at are past lives. We can also look at, present obstacles, soul purpose, life purpose, future lives. But another thing that we can look at are soul connections as well. So those people that we are destined to meet, our soulmates, our twin flames, and other soul connections as well. So that's another way that I do like to work and do like to do my readings. I'm really looking forward to doing a couple of readings, so I'm going to wait to see who comes through. But while I do that, while we wait there, I'm also going to talk about a few other sets of cards, etc., that I do have. I have here my past life cards, which I do like to use in conjunction with the Akashic record readings. Okay, so this is them here, and they will give me deep insight into what past life issues you may have. You may think, well, what's the point of finding out about past lives? Isn't it this life that's important? And that's absolutely true. What happens within a past life can affect your present life also. So sometimes if you've got maybe a repeating pattern that you can't quite fathom out where on earth it's come from, that could actually be derived from a past life incarnation. And also what I find fascinating when I do past life readings is looking at how the roles that of the important people in your life now, presently, have changed, and what was the setup before, because quite often we swap roles, and that can be an absolutely fascinating insight as to why, say for instance, you have a particular problem relating to a certain person. Say for instance your mother or your father, you may have had a completely different dynamic, and something deep may have happened in a previous incarnation, which is then creating a knock-on effect on this lifetime. Now, I do have my first caller, which I'm very excited to welcome onto the show. This is Glenda from Cassopolis in Michigan. Have I said that right? Glenda, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I say that correct? Cassopolis?
Yes, you did.
Oh, fantastic. I've got something right tonight. Brilliant. Okay. Right. Do you have a question? Welcome to the show. Do you have a question for me?
101. I guess the best question is that...
Sorry, say that again?
Is someone trying to tell me something?
Sorry, can you say that again? I'm struggling to hear you.
Is someone trying to tell me something?
Okay, you may have to say that a bit slower because I'm struggling to hear that. Can you just say that once again? Oh, is somebody trying to tell you something? Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you mean spiritually, or do you mean sort of a physical person? Spiritually. Okay, let me just see what I kind of get here for you. I might even use spirit message cards. So I'm going to pull out a few cards. Okay, so I'm getting a big yes on this one. A big yes. So I feel here that you have, there's like you've been experiencing, you've been having sort of certain experiences. Is that around the home here that I'm getting? Did you hear that? Hello, Glenda? Are you there?
No, I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Are you because I feel here you're having experiences yourself, which is kind of leading you into believing that somebody is trying to get a message through here for you. Is that right?
Yes, I feel I am.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm being told here is you need to be trusting your intuition. I feel if I tune into your energy, I've got a very strong female presence around you, and it seems to be, it's not a warning. I'm being told here it's not a warning. It's more of a celebration of what is coming in here for you. I feel like you're very open psychically, you're very open spiritually, and I feel there's almost like an element of excitement here with this lady in terms of being able to kind of get messages through to you. And I feel here if you simply ask for more signs, I feel like you will receive them. But I feel like you've kind of been a little bit anxious about what the message is because that's been a little bit unclear for you. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah. So I feel here, the message isn't a foreboding. The message isn't for you to be worried about something or that something bad is going to happen. What the message is really is almost like a celebration coming in here for you, which they seem to be very excited about. So I feel that I've got this sense of this lady stepping forward for you, and I'm getting like a mother, grandmother kind of feel here with her, and it's almost like she wants to. How can I put a join? It's like I've got a joining with you as you step into what feels like a bit of a new start for you. So I feel if I look at your energy, the last few years, I'm getting the number 5 here around this, the last 5 years have been particularly challenging for you. And there's been a lot that you've had to kind of go through on an emotional level. And what you are being told here is that you need, how can I put it, you need a little bit of time to kind of process a lot of what's been going on over the last 5 years. And this is why I feel she's kind of stepped forward here for you. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, I was told they're trying to tell me where I'm where I need to go to get my money to get my home. I'm homeless.
Okay, if you may just have to repeat that. You're a little bit muffled. I can't quite hear that.
I'm told that they're trying to tell me where I'm supposed to get my money for my home for my children.
Okay, I can't catch that at all, unfortunately. Let me just see if I can get that written down for me. Let's just wait to see if we've got that coming through. Right, yeah, here we go. So I'll be able to actually catch up with what you said in a second. Just bear with me while I have a quick look here. Oh, how will you reconnect with your home? Is that right?
Right now I don't have a home. I've been through a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I mean, what I'm getting here, what I am getting here is a big change coming in for you, which I feel, I mean, if I'm looking at this, I feel like I've got it coming in around August, September time for you, where life is taking that turn. It's taking that turn for the better. And in terms of what is actually coming in, I get such a higher vibration, such a far more positive vibration coming in for you. And this is what I feel like she's coming in to help you with. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to have to leave it there. So thank you very much for coming through. I'm going to wish you lots of love and light. And we're going to go on to our next caller, which is Kathy in St. Louis, Missouri. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Are you there?
Hello. How are you?
Hi. I'm really well, thank you. Really, really well. Okay, thank you very much for coming on the show. Is there a question? Is there something that you would like me to look at for you today?
Well, I guess just generally speaking, I'm kind of in a huge flux right now. As my whole life is kind of in disorder, and I just really don't know where I belong or what's in store with my future. I've had some things that have doubt recently, but it seems like we're falling apart. And I guess I've need general direction, guidance, something. I don't even know anymore.
Right, okay, let's have a look. I'm going to pull a few cards out for you, and I may even sort of have a look at the Akashic crystal as well to see where, because it feels like it's got quite a strange energy around this, because it feels very much like you've got this blank sheet, it's a blank page here that you're kind of being asked to how can I put it, create your life from here on in, but it's like you don't know exactly what it is that you want to start with, because I feel that there is so much here that you would like to see changing, and you're ready for those changes, absolutely, but you're not quite sure which part of your life to kind of tackle first. I feel here also that so I'm getting some sort of quite big change coming in within the next 4 weeks. There is a sense, there's two things that I feel are really strong here with you. Number one is almost like a complete change within the work area for yourself. And maybe even, you know, that I'm going to say like a change of career or starting a business or something like that, that I feel is really quite prominent here with you. There is a little bit of groundwork to be done here before you can step into that. But it's like the reason why you're feeling a little bit lost here is I feel like you're coming out of almost like a very big phase or cycle of what feels like very, very challenging situations and circumstances. And you're stepping into, this is all happening this year, and you're stepping into a brand new cycle and stage in your life. It's like you're going on to the next level of your life. But at the moment where you are presently, you're in between those stages, which is why you're feeling lost and stuck and frustrated here. But there is something coming in over the next 4 weeks that I feel is going to be giving you clarity here. Now, have you been thinking of moving home as well?
I am home. I've been thinking about moving away.
Yeah. Now, I want to say these thoughts, I feel like have been, it's not overnight, they've been on your mind for some time here, and you're kind of wondering whether, I'm getting a big yes on the literally moving away and starting all over again, getting a very, very big yes on it. And I feel that those thoughts are going to keep nagging at you until you take that plunge. And I feel at the moment you're kind of wondering, actually, are you just running away? Is it just going to be the same old stuff, just in a different place? And the answer to that is no, it's not going to be like that. I feel here you're being shifted and you're being moved into a whole new way of life. And it does involve starting completely all over again with that clean, fresh page, which I mentioned right at the beginning of the reading. I'm going to put out a couple more cards for you because I feel like there's been a lot of mental stress and I want to kind of clear the energy of that. So I feel like let's just have a look at the optimum time here for you as well. Okay, so I'm being given 3 months here with this. I'm very drawn towards autumn as well. You are being told here, even by these cards, that there is a sense of you being able to make things work. So I feel here, once you've made that decision, okay, because you're still working out whether you want to make that decision or not. Once you have made that decision, then I feel, and you start to put the wheels in motion as well, get a little bit of action behind it, I feel like things are going to start to slot into place here for you. But the dream, the idea, what you've been thinking about is exactly what you are supposed to be doing. Now, like I said, I want to have a quick look at the Akashic Crystal as well, because I feel like this is a very important step in your life, almost like a destined step. So I'm just going to grab hold of my crystal and tune into the energy of your Akashic record as well to see what I have for you. So I love the energy of what's coming in. Because as I feel like I turn that page, like I said, it's like you're in between stages here. When I turn that page, it's like beaming, it's bright, it's very, in terms of your personal power, in terms of the way in which you feel about yourself, the fact that at the moment you're feeling very disconnected, but you will be feeling very connected once you turn that page and once you start to move in those directions. I do feel that you will move away, and I do feel that you will start all over again. It's just about having the confidence and being brave enough to make that step, because it is a big step to make, and it's not one that needs to be taken lightly. But I feel like because it's been pressing on your mind for such a long time, I feel like it's not going to leave you until you make that step, put it that way. But the way in which the Akashic records are kind of depicting it is that this is very important, because it gives you the opportunity to have the life that you desire. Now, for whatever reason, I feel like it hasn't been possible for you to have the life that you desire and you deserve. I have to say the word deserve here, where you are at the moment. I feel like you've been hit by literally problem after problem after problem. Does that make sense, where you are?
Yes, very much.
Yeah. So it's not, like I said, this is not about running away. This is about taking that step on into your future. And I feel like it needs to be looked at in that kind of vein, in that way. I feel here there's still, I'm being told here, there's something here that you still need to do or sort out. And this is about closing things off in terms of your life so far, okay? So I don't know whether this is more on an energy level or whether this is something physically that you have to do. But I want to say, don't be surprised if there is an issue to do with your past, or someone to do with your past actually comes back in. Not necessarily that you need to relive anything. I feel like you've done that work. It's like, I want to say over the past 10, 15 years, a lot of the challenges that you were tasked with for this lifetime, you've completed. Okay, so you've kind of done it in it's almost like in record fashion. You've literally bombarded your way through all of these challenges in quite what feels like quite a small proportion of your life. And the reason why it's kind of being done like that is so you can clear your energy, you can clear your karma, because I feel like I've got issues relating to, and quite negative, hard issues relating to certain almost like soul connections previously. Okay, so I feel like this falls within strong relationships here is what I'm getting. Okay, does that make sense to you?
Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to take that out, I guess.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I've got something from the past, or a situation from the past, and it may just purely be on an energetic level, just needing to be cleared until you can, and then you can make those steps forward. Okay. So you're going into this new phase, you're going into this new cycle without carrying the energy and the burden of those previous times. Does that make sense?
Yes, that
so you're
does.
going in, yeah. So you're going in clear, and I feel with you. I mean, I feel that you are a really, really intuitive person, and I feel that you are also, even though you don't feel like it, you are very connected here with spirit. You're also very connected here with, the ebbs and the flows of the universe. And it's like, I feel like I've got you being skyrocketed this year into the kind of life, and this impacts all areas of your life, not just one, which is why this feels so massive. You're being catapulted into that this year. Okay. I want to say here that even though this seems like a mammoth task, I feel like you are going to be guided through it as well. So piece by piece, things will start to fall together. It's just really at the moment for you, if you're looking at doing something right now, it's about making that decision of exactly what you want to, how you want that life to look. Okay, because I feel like you're being given that opportunity to have that life, but you need that really clear in your mind. What is it that you want to be doing work-wise? Where do you want to be living? Who do you want to have in your life? Those elements, I feel, need to be painted really clearly for you. Does that make sense?
Very much. Very, very much.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask?
Well, there is one thing, I guess. There is a friend that lives out of state that has been wanting me to live with. Actually, there's a couple, but there's one in particular I've been leaning more toward. I'm just sure because of our relationship. And I'm not,
okay.
I don't know, I'm just not clear.
Right.
And
okay, just repeat that once more. I couldn't quite catch that. You're not quite sure which...
I'm just not quite sure, I guess, if I should invest the time, energy, and emotion when I'm not sure it's going to be returned.
I feel, to be honest with you, what I'm being told here with this is you need to be investing your time, energy, and emotions in you right now. Okay? And whoever is there, whoever is meant to be part of your life will still be standing there waiting. At the moment, I feel the energy has to be with you. And I feel while you're in between stages as well, until you've actually made some of the big changes, it may very well be the case that it won't be possible for you to maintain these connections that you're asking about. But you won't know that until you've got further down the line. So it's like, don't make that decision right now. You don't need to make that decision right now. But I do feel that I've got new connections coming in for you. So I'm going to have to leave it there because that is the end of my show. So I'm going to thank you very much for coming through. Love and light to you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful year ahead. Okay, right. So it is the end of my show. So if you want to get hold of me, easiest way is to visit my website, which is www.modern-mystic.co.uk. You can also find me on Facebook under Mystic Sarah or Modern Mystic. You can get hold of me there. I'm available for Skype reading internationally, or if you're based in the UK, in the southeast, you can come and see me. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Wish you a wonderful, wonderful week ahead, and I'll see you same time next week. Love and light. Goodbye for now.